You can make it private. You can make it unlisted. But I go live. There's nothing proprietary that I do in my class. I'd like other people to see. And many times for your projects, you'll do the same. There's nothing proprietary that you want, but you can make changes to that. Okay, so we got that. Also, what do I do, Sally, is I also record to my computer using another program. I use, in this case, I use MSN Recorder. You'll be using other programs. Okay, so we got that underway. That is established. The other thing that I just wanted to make sure is, which is pretty good, is let me share my screen. And I share. And do you see the participants? Sally, do you see the participants here on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. If I looked at it, you see myself as host. You say Anastasia, you see as a co-host. And you see Adam as a guest. And in this case, notice this is by alphabetical order by first name. And then I can see you, Sully, as guest, but I see Preston not as guest, and Livia, you see that you're not as guest. So the question is to everybody, how did you log in, Livia, that you see yourself only as, in this case, I see you not as guest? How did you,
I don't know. I just clicked the link at
where did you find
Blackboard.
the link?
At Blackboard.
Okay. What
And then
I'd
I
like
clicked
to
join.
join.
Yeah.
What I'd like everybody to do is when you're joining this class, go through Blackboard. Go through Blackboard, then from Blackboard, go to Zoom meetings and then click on joining. And why is that? Blackboard then puts it in with all your credentials. So part of the polls and such can be counted for your student engagement. So that's one of the things that I wanted you to contact on it. The other part that I wanted to make sure is, let me just share. And Olivia, you can tell me if you see my screen. And I'm going to go into Blackboard. And Livia, in this case, what are you seeing on the screen?
The YouTube Live.
YouTube Live. You see already that it's YouTube Live. And what is one of the problems with YouTube Live? If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It's
it
delayed.
is basically what?
Yeah.
It's delayed. For our part, it's no problem, but you can see that it's YouTube Live. It has our information. And then later on, you could have it where you could have people subscribe to your channel. And you'll be doing this for your projects as well, is you'll be creating a YouTube Live channel. It takes a couple of days to do that. You'll be through Zoom creating your channel, and you'll be doing as your group projects and your individual projects. Everybody will be knowing how to do the YouTube Live connection to Zoom. That clear, Livia? We're on a roll?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in this case, I see my Zoom. Let me just go back here. I see my Zoom. The course syllabus people can read on their own. The only thing that I need to let you know in terms of the course syllabus is we have 2 in-person exams. That's the only time that you'll be meeting in person, and that is on March 2nd and also on April 22nd. So check with your calendars. If you have any issues on that, you may want to switch to another section, or see me after class and we can discuss it. The other idea that you see is we take attendance each time. We have the Zoom meeting, and always we have what we call the what's due section. The what's due section is what's available here. I asked you to sign up for Wiley Plus. I asked you to do the readings, do the adaptive assignment, quizzes, sign up for Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and Financial, and I'll show you a bit on that, but it's basically to get you up to date on what's happening in the tech field because it's changing so rapidly. What was even a year ago is really changed. Software is changing, hardware is changing, the business is changing, how people are using it in their organizations is changing. So I want us to be upfront. I also talked about the Gemini Google. You get a free upgrade for a year. It's a pretty good deal. I would take it myself if I were a student. It doesn't count for faculty. You have a article I want you to review for next Wednesday, and also this one in creating a two-part career plan for the age of AI and student guide for artificial intelligence, that it's basically trying to figure out with the advent of AI, where is the human going to be put into that process and how can you gain experience? And that's what we'll be doing in this class. And what else do you need? The Wiley Adaptive. If I go to Wiley Adaptive, there is something called the principle of least privilege. And what that means is that based on your role, and in order to do your tasks well, you should get the least amount of privilege in any IT organization. So if I go to chapter 1, everyone now, if you haven't done this, and if you're new to the class, you should click on Wiley Plus. You should go to chapter 1. If you've already had Wiley Plus in any of your other classes, you should be already able to see that. Now, you'll see in this case, you'll see the readings, and you should be able to read this. The only problems we had is Wiley Plus has difficulty in iPad, so you need to use a computer. And sometimes Wiley Plus has difficulties in other browsers. So what we suggest, what seems to work best is the Chrome browser. And you can see here's information systems, the relationship between data, information, and knowledge. And basically that whole key of data is the crux of all information technology, and the connection to AI is that AI is trying to learn from this data. We're trying to train the data, and out of that, not only get information and knowledge and insight. So you can read through this. There's a number of readings that you can see here. You'll think about when they talk about computer-based information systems, you'll know that it starts with hardware, with databases, with software, with networks, and basically these procedures. And we'll discuss this at some length, but a lot of this reading, you can use even other AI tools to help you summarize and understand it. That's not the issue. And then you see here, if I go to the adaptive, this you need to do for every assignment in Wiley Plus. This is what gives you credit. And when you open the assignment, it's based on your role. Your role, Raphael, is what? I'm the instructor for the role in Blackboard. What's your role?
A student?
Student. So should you have a different view than I do as instructor? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, it looks
Of
pretty
course.
similar when I open.
Way different, right? You need to know about your grades, right, Raphael? I need to know about everybody's grades in this class, not in any other class, but in this class that I'm teaching. So notice that this is quite slow, maybe based on my part, but notice that I get a different view than what you get. But I wanted you to see what I get. Basically, this is what they call a dashboard, and I get in the dashboard my student status here. And even if I looked at it, Anastasia, how many students, if you look at participants, how many students do I have attending today?
35 people.
35. So it says that 2 people completed it and 25 have basically gone in and registered. So I need, by the end of the class, what I'd like is those basically other 10 students to sign in, so at least I know they haven't started. So you know that this is what I get here. I also, on my end, I get students. You see that? So in this case, I get students where I see that Preston got 100%, and they put it in blue. And then I also see that Ella Turk also completed the assignment. It's not a difficult, and notice everything is data driven. I even know that in this case that I'll have, in this case, Preston doing 14 minutes. And then if I move this a bit, I know that it was 26 minutes of Ella. It tells me the time, and sometimes it's depending on what they call adaptive test taking in that. So you can see where I get this information. So I get that content there. That was the Wiley Plus, and I'm just going over just to make sure that everybody realizes this. In this case, once I do that, I know that I also need quizzes. So for every assignment that it says quizzes, this is where you get quizzes. One quiz is in the audit in the Wiley reading adaptive. You go to the last one for the adaptive test, and then the other one is quizzes, and the quizzes will be by chapters of what will be in the test. And the quizzes, you know that chapter 1 is usually like the most generic part, and you can see that under Introduction to Information Systems, you can see that I can see the questions here, and it says in this case, this test allows for 2 attempts. The last time you take it will be the one that counts. And this is the case which I wanted to make sure that you were aware of, is that the quizzes, the Wiley Adaptive, are all open book. I don't care. In this case, the Wiley Adaptive checks the time on which you do it, but you don't get penalized if it took you versus 5 minutes versus it took you 60 minutes. The quizzes, even I give you 2 attempts to do it. It really should be only 1 attempt, but I say, why not give you 2 attempts? Because it's used for you to just practice. Some of you have asked me offline, what are the tests? Are the tests going to be like these quizzes? And the answer is yes. The tests will be like these quizzes. The tests will be 2 parts. The tests will be quizzes, multiple choice that you'll do on the computer. That'll be one part. And the other part will be usually 2 to 3 open-ended questions. The open-ended questions will be based on the readings, the additional readings we do, the assignments we do. And gee, if you thought about it, Ella Turk, it's like so much information. So what I do for review is I give you around 8 questions, open-ended questions, and I choose between 2 to 3. I just think if I just made it, Ella, just all the way open like that, it would just not be fair. I mean, there's so much out there because it is the tests are the only time, I'm going to emphasize, the tests are the only time that I have closed book, closed notes, closed ChatGPT. Do you understand? So in that case, Ella, I make it in 2 parts and you can decide which part you want to do first. Some people say, hey, I studied so much, I knew what the open-ended were. It's all in my mind. I'm going to answer those first. Other people say, the multiple choice is kind of easy. It relaxes me. I do that first. I don't care which ones you choose, but you just choose one, then you go to the other. You got it? So those are the 2 times that we'll be in the lab taking that. And then you'll get the closed book you'll get right away. Okay. Anything else? So what about my moderators? Anything else that I need to think about?
No, Ella
Um,
asked a question, but
What?
Anastasia already answered.
Okay. What
recorded
was
it.
the question?
regarding whether the quizzes are completion. They're not. Whatever you get on the quiz is what goes in the grade book.
Right. For the Wiley or for the quizzes?
I believe she was asking about the quizzes.
The quizzes.
I
right.
was
Well,
I was asking about, sorry for the noise, I'm in the breezeway.
Sure.
I was asking about for the Wiley quizzes.
Oh, the Wiley quizzes. The Wiley quizzes is I think it just says completion. Yeah, it's like 100% completion. So you get 100% of
Yeah,
the grade.
so for the Wiley, it would be completion. Like if you complete it, because it also gives you unlimited attempts, so you
Time.
could get 100. But the Blackboard quizzes, the ones that you have 2 attempts on, your highest grade is what goes in the grade book.
No, it's your last grade.
Oh, it's your last grade? Okay.
Yes, that's good that we clarify it. Perfect. There shouldn't be a reason why if you have it open-ended. So I have 2 Ellas. I have Ella Elizabeth and I have Ella Eden. Okay. Eden or Eden?
It's my middle name, it's Eden.
Okay, Eden. Okay. So in this case, then it basically will be it's your last attempt, but there's no reason why your last attempt in the quizzes shouldn't count. Do you have anything else?
When you say by like last attempt, like are you talking about like the quizzes that we're taking like in person?
No, we're not taking any quizzes in person. We're
The
taking 2
exam.
exams.
So wait, what are the Blackboard quizzes that you're referring to?
Go to Blackboard. Are you in Blackboard?
Yeah.
Do you see quizzes?
Let me see. Yeah. Hold
Those
on.
are the
Yeah,
quizzes.
okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so that's why just this week, I want to make sure that everybody understands what we're talking about. Any other things, Livia, any other things that I need to pay attention to?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. So those are the aspects that are important. And basically, how this class is going to be operating is every week we'll have assignments. The first week is kind of the easiest, right? Of just getting everybody up and running and knowing the tricks of the trade, as I say. And the other parts are going to be each week are going to be hands-on exercises, just like we talk about. So, Anastasia, you want to basically launch a poll, and we'll see from a poll.
Yeah, I'll
How
launch
that
it right
works.
now.
And let's see if it works. And as I say, we're like eating our own dog food. We're trying this out, right? So in this one is the use of AI. And then I have, in this case, notice that -LW, my teaching assistants are doing this. And it says, how have you used AI short answer? Right? And then what I want you to do is respond to it. So let's give everybody have a a minute responding to this. And in the polls, this will be ways for me to get feedback, ways for you to get feedback, and also this will be counting in your attendance. Your attendance is part of it is class participation. You know, it's attendance, class participation. And you think in this way, I call on people, and one of the things I'll talk about it is calling on people is there's so much out here, right? If you think about it, Victoria, the question comes is, there's no way that you would know all the answers. And usually in life, Victoria, if you don't know something about tech, what do you usually do? If you have a question about that, what would you usually do, Victoria? You're in life and something's not working quite well.
Sorry, could you like give more context? Like what do you mean just in life? Like if I'm not like if something
Let's say you're having do you ever use ChatGPT?
Yeah.
When do you use it for?
I use it a lot to like create outlines like for my essays, like mostly just help with schoolwork.
Okay, for your schoolwork, right?
Uh-huh.
So in those cases, in publishing schoolwork, those are, and which bots do you use?
I usually use ChatGPT.
Have you tried any others?
I've like kind of tried, but I kind of just stick to ChatGPT.
Because you know it. And do you have the free version or a subscribed version?
No, I have the subscribed version.
And how much are you paying for that?
I'm not sure. My dad pays for it. I
Good,
just
good. Isn't that great? I wish I
Yeah.
was like that. I wouldn't have to know. Those are the good old days. That's what I say. Who cares? My dad's paying for it. So anyways, but you know what? You have a great dad that he knows that that's going to be important for you. You know,
Yeah, no,
you
yeah.
should tell him tonight, right? You can text him and tell him that I appreciate that he knows that he's putting it into good use, because we'll be
Yes.
using it more.
Yeah.
So in this case, so it says, what do you think? It's the end of the poll? Should we do you want to take the end of the poll and you want to publish the results then? Anastasia?
There are still two people that haven't responded. Do you
Okay,
want
well, they
for
have
them to respond?
10 seconds to respond, right?
All right, we'll
If they haven't responded, that's, we can't wait for the whole one. Okay.
okay, now one person is
Okay,
left.
one person. We'll give them how much? 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Michael is saying, where's the poll?
It should have just launched on your screen,
It
or
should
if
have
you
launched on your
click,
screen,
there
right?
should be a button on your end that says polls.
Yeah. So one of the things we're trying out, right, is where's the poll? I want to take the poll. I can't find the poll. Okay, so let's do the end of the poll
Okay,
and
I'll
let's see.
Yeah. Okay, one
Or
second.
maybe stay afterwards. If you can't find the poll, we'll stay afterwards and help you find the polls. Okay. And then you want to stop sharing, I guess, or
Yeah,
and we can see the results. So how did you do that? That's kind of like open-ended. And then how do we see the results?
that's a great question, Dr.
That's a
Rush. I'm
great
working
question.
on
It
it.
says
Oh,
share result.
I have it. So,
You have it good.
yeah. Do you
It's
guys
a
see
great,
my screen or no?
yeah, your screen.
Yeah, you see it?
No,
No?
let me
Okay,
turn this off. Okay, so share it again.
one
Share
second.
your screen.
Yeah.
See, we're playing around with it. We don't have all the answers. That's all right. So what do we got? We see each other. I see myself. Okay, so what am I seeing here? How have you answered? So basically, I like this with the graphic here is what? Questions, research day, help, guides, project, outlines, personal problems.
I think this is just like an overview of the most used words that
Yeah, right.
on
And
the
notice here, this is the difference here. Everybody see here, Victoria, is some say guess and some say, you see this Ella where it has you. Is that you, Ella, of E. Leon
Yeah,
25?
that's
Yeah. So it basically shows how did you log on? So basically everybody, so see, that's the problem. When you have those open-ended, when it says guess, you don't know who said that. So I don't want it to be anonymous. So that's why it's good to log in via Blackboard. But we're trying it out. So you get a feel for it. So
I think it could be that some people are just like not logged into the actual ChatGPT app, like sorry, the Zoom app. Cause like when I pressed like to for last class, when I pressed to like get on the Zoom, I wasn't logged in and it said I was a guest, even though I joined from Blackboard. So it could just be that people aren't logged in on the Zoom.
so what did you do to do that, Ella?
I just
Like
like
that?
I have the Zoom app on my computer and I went and I basically just like logged in with my Google account.
Okay. We may want to show it because that first it's interesting to see that because there's that integration between Blackboard and Zoom, right? And and people that are guests also want to get credit for it. Later on, we have another way to get the reports that you can get their emails, but in this case, just on looking at it, and it's important to see. And also, right, Ella, if you were a business and you were doing this as a webinar series, you would want to see, a lot of times you would want it not to be anonymous. You would want to see like who were your clients or potential clients that you could do it. So those are areas. And I found still that Zoom is kludgy. What I mean, it is not as swift with it. Okay, perfect.
I'll stop sharing, Dr. Rush.
Yes, perfect. Perfect. You
I
know what?
think we could
What?
ask everyone to please make sure to kind of sign into Zoom. And then within the next few classes, I'll start reaching out to people who have guests. And then you can
And
just
find out what are the issues. And then
right.
also you want to find out, right, to stay after class to find out why somebody's not even, what is it about their screen, maybe even
Yeah.
that they're not even viewing the polls, because
Right.
that's going to be an important
So yeah,
aspect.
we can troubleshoot within the next few classes.
Yeah, and that's
Get
what I'm
out
saying. These
further
next
down.
couple of classes, we're using it. It's almost like in development. There's something called agile development that we almost have to be agile. And what does agile mean? Is we almost have to be flexible to try to figure out what is working in small stages. And we were going to be working with that together. There's something also, what I want to let you know for my class versus maybe other classes is that I want you to use as many aids as possible during the class. Do you understand that, Holly? So if I called on you, Holly, and I said, what is the least privilege principle? And you would say, I have no idea. Let's pretend, right, that you had no idea, right? What I would want you to do is, what I would say is, I don't want people to say, I don't know in this class, because I know we all don't know a lot of things, but rather is to research it.
Okay.
And everybody has an opportunity. And even if I ask Holly, what I would want to do is have that available to us. So I want to be able to have it available that everyone can have those resources with it. So I want to know the principle of how the principle of least privilege works in an IT or information system environment. Okay? So, if I would have you then, what I want to do is this. Everybody get out their phones. Am I clear that everybody has their phone? Right? Everybody get out their phone. And one of the things I want you to do is go to your keypad. Now, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is AI, right? And something called AI callers. And one of the things about AI callers is different than a regular telephone number. So Holly, if you gave me your phone number, I could call you or I could text you, right? And you could do the same. There's no large language model built into my phone that will just answer my phone call. But there's something called intelligent AI callers that they have a phone number, but attached to that phone number is a large language model. Or think about it, it's almost like OpenAI is attached to it. And what we're going to be doing in the class is we're going to be creating our own intelligent callers. That if, let's say you're a business, Holly, instead of you having to answer, maybe spams or answer every call, right? Or hire somebody, you could have like on the front line, having an intelligent caller. And for instance, I have quite a few, but one called USA Manuel, that basically monitoring wellness of computers, monitoring health, a number of ways that people could call, and then I can program that to train it to talk about my business, but also to have it as a learning management, as a large language model. So what everybody get to your pad, and I want to even think about this, is there's something called a vanity phone number. A vanity number is something that looks like a brand. It promotes a brand name, and you can use it for your URL or for your website, and you can also use it for your telephone number. One of the common ones is like 1-800-Flowers. Have you ever heard of that, Holly? You call 1-800-Flowers, you'll get a flower company sending you, it's Valentine's coming up, and whoever you have maybe that you want flowers from, if it's the last minute, they can call 1-800-Flowers and send you flowers. Mattresses, 1-800-Mattresses, or whatever. What I want you to do, and I want everybody to do, is look at your phone and look at your keypad, and I want everybody to type in, but don't press the phone key yet, but type in 1-800. Everybody doing that? 1-800, Holly, and I'll have you do it. And I want it to be Chat GPT. So what's the first digit after 800, Holly, for chat?
2,
2. And then what's the next digit?
4,
4 for H. What's the next one?
2, sorry.
2 for A. What's the next digit?
8,
8 for T. Okay, so we got the chat. And now we need GPT. So what is it? What digits?
4,
4 for G.
7,
7
8,
for P.
and then 8.
8 for thing. Okay, I don't want anybody to press anything yet. So it's 1-800-242-848, or in a lot of ways, we could have even just typed in 1-800-CHAT-GPT for our calling. And you tell me, Holly, what do you think's going to happen when you're going to put it on speakerphone so everybody can hear. What do you think's going to happen on the other end? Who's going to answer, or is anybody going to answer?
Like
Nobody knows, but we're not going to even, just on your own common sense, what do you think would be?
like maybe an AI platform or something.
An AI platform, okay? And Christopher, what kind of AI platform do you think will be on the other end?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, what do you think? If you dial 1-800-CHAT-GPT, what do you think is going to answer on the other end?
I have no idea. Maybe
You have no idea. We
I
got
have
to
no
think.
clue, man. Genuinely,
What?
I have no clue. It could be a
What,
robot.
have you ever heard of
It could be
ChatGPT?
It could be Elon Musk himself.
I could,
Yeah.
but instead of Elon, I doubt if Elon Musk is going to answer our call. Don't
It's
you think so? But what would answer our call? In this case, Victoria, what do you think is going to be on the other end of the call?
I think that it'll be AI speaking.
AI, what AI? Ella
ChatGPT.
Aiden, what AI will be on the other end, you think?
Probably ChatGPT.
Probably OpenAI, ChatGPT. So Holly, ring it in, and then let's ask about the principle of what? least privilege if it can explain it and how does it work, let's say in a university environment. So press it and put it on voice for everybody to hear.
Hi, I'm ChatGPT, an AI assistant. Just so you know, conversation may be reviewed for safety. By continuing this call, you agree to OpenAI's terms and privacy policy. So, how can I help you today?
Wait,
So
what
ask
did I ask?
So you want to ask
Don't
what is
worry. Sure, take your time. What's on your mind?
the principle of what? Least what? Privilege. To explain it to you.
What's the principle of least privilege?
Least privilege is a security principle that means giving users or systems the minimum level of access or permissions they need to perform their tasks, and no more. This helps reduce the risk of misuse or accidental damage. Is this for something specific you're working on?
On the give her, you want examples from the university as students.
Give me examples for the university as a student.
For university students, least privilege could mean only granting access to the online resources they need for their courses. For example, a medical student might have access to medical journals, but not to the financial databases or the personal information of other students. It limits access to what's necessary for their education.
Ask how it's different for professors versus students.
How is it different for professors versus students?
For professors, the principle of least privilege might allow access to academic records and research databases, but not to sensitive administrative systems, unless it's necessary for their role. Students, on the other hand, typically have access only to course materials and their own academic records. It's about tailoring access to fit the responsibilities of each role.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's legit.
So basically, what is it then? Who can tell me what that was? It's a vanity number, right? And is it an AI caller? Yes, it's an AI caller. And how is it different from your phone number? Is that phone number was provisioned, Holly, to accept what? An LLM. Basically, you can think about it as an AI chatbot inside. And what we're going to be doing in our class, as I said, we're going to eat our own dog food. We'll create it for ourselves. So individually, we will go to a website where we'll be able, for a demo purposes, to get phone number. And what I'd like to do is this website, we'll see if it changes, right? But this website, they allow you to choose. So I'd like it to even choose, Holly, to make it mnemonic, like USA, Wealth AI, if you can do wealth management, or USA Healthcare, or AI therapy. And then have it, basically, it'll then have basically a LLM, or what we call then that large language model, plus you can train it. So if I ask who are the owners of Wealth AI, you'll be able to put in for the training that it's Holly, that it's Elizabeth, and so forth, of who it is and what are your goals. And you can then actually then specify and train it. That's what they call an AI caller, and how it's different from just a regular phone number. And what's interesting here in this number is OpenAI had a hackathon and basically coming up with new ideas. And somebody said, hey, why don't we create then an AI caller, a 1-800 number, and put ChatGPT there? The difference is they're limiting it because it's basically tokens, right? So they're limiting it. So this allows you to do it for 15 minutes. I think it changes per time. And then it will say, why don't you download, Holly, why don't you download Chat GPT and, do the subscribing. This will even work on a landline. So even if you don't have a digital phone, if you had any landline, and it works in the United States. but it gives you the idea of what an intelligent caller is. And later on, what I'm going to be doing is using other chatbots. I think it'd be great to have it as my another teaching assistant. I have lead teaching assistants. I have my regular teaching assistant. Why not have an AI teaching assistant? And later on, have also a number where you can call and say, oh, when's the test? You know, this is Dr. Rush's number, and I can right, we can program it. You guys can even help, right? When are the tests? Different questions that you don't want to bother your TA with. And what you don't want to bother and get it, and you get an answer right away, 24/7. So you can think about it as almost that in my opinion, education needs to be completely disrupted. If you ask your parents, and you even ask your grandparents, and if you're lucky enough to have great grandparents, they didn't have much differences when they were in school. If you ask them if they went to the university, probably was the same way. And to me, that is not the way it's supposed to be, right? We should be able to basically put this together that you have learning. So I'm trying, that's part of my research, part of my consulting as well. How do you disrupt this, and how do you have the human stay in the center, that it's based on the human needs, right? And we're going to be deciding, when people were asking me, are jobs going to be eliminated? And many parents are coming to me, oh my goodness, what should my son or daughter study? It basically is, they're scared that you're not going to help them when, pay for them when they're old and decrepit. And I say, yes, jobs are going to disappear, but other jobs of supervising AI, working together, are going to be the wave of the future. That's my opinion. Everybody got it on how we're going to proceed during this class? So I want to make sure that I'll end a bit early this week to show you that is the way to do it. But let me just show you a couple of things of what you need to do as well before we conclude. And if I share this, so we got, in this case, I have the content here that I see. I have the syllabus, and then you have some web links. You have your grades that are different than going to be my grades, right? I have everybody's grades. But if I looked at the what's due, right, you see on the what's due at this point, open a new tab. This you should be able to get at the University of Miami, which is they gave you on the left-hand corner, they give you all these publications. What I want you to get is the publication of the Financial Times, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal. And when you go to, let's say, even the Wall Street Journal, I'm subscribed already. You subscribe with your miami.edu. You don't have to worry about the paywall. And what I want you to do is go to the tech section, even though you see all the things, the problems with the whole world. And under tech, look what's under tech: AI, biotech, cybersecurity, personal technology. We're going to go through all of that, but especially for this class, we're going to also emphasize the AI. I'd like to go to the AI section. And then I'll later on pick some articles that you're doing, but I'd like you to do it at least on a weekly basis, that you're familiar what's happening in tech, what are the areas to do. And you can see here, OpenAI, look at this, multi-billion, those are in finance, right? Multi-billion-dollar computing partnerships. You can see Meta, and who is Meta? Facebook, right? Meta thought they were going to do the metaverse. Facebook changed its name to Meta in order to think that the metaverse was going to be good. But guess what? It went to AI, and they're cutting 10% of the staff doing this metaverse, and they're shifting to the AI glasses that you can be doing Here, what end users, you're wondering to yourself, what are workers going to do? Workers are going to get stuck in this case in basically training your own robot replacement. And then you can kind of see people are worried about even Matthew here is trademarking himself to fight for AI misuse, because that's scary, right? That they can take over. And then you can see some of the others. And the New York Times, you can see as well. In the New York, when you go to the New York Times, I'll be giving you some articles anyways to read. But when you go to the New York Times, they're not a tech itself, they're under business. So if you look at the New York Times, they're under the tech. So under business, you can just go to their tech, and under tech, you can see that they're talking about, again, the problems with AI, right? Sexualized imaging, and then can AI generate new ideas? Because a lot of times people were saying, oh, only creativity is humans, but systems like OpenAI, GPT-5 are excelling research in math, biology, but there's a debate over whether it can do that work on its own, being general intelligence. And then you see some of the tech will invade our lives in 2026. This will be good, Anastasia, when we do the 10 pieces of tech jargon. Basic confused us. What confused us? There's so much lingo out there, from RAG to intelligence. We'll be going over a lot of this in class of generalized intelligence, AI factories, NVIDIA, all of them are producing these data centers, but instead of these data centers, they call it AI factories, and super intelligence, multimodal. And that's what we'll be talking about. I really like the idea of conversational, especially in teaching and others. And we'll be talking about CPUs, GPUs, neural processing units, some vibe coding. Instead of responding, Agenic is they'll be doing tasks for us, like booking my flights, booking my reservations, doing my work. Okay. So that is how the class is going. If you, some people for online, it doesn't work for them. Some people, this type of thing of being called on, doing a lot of hands-on, isn't their cup of tea. That's fine. There are other sections to go to. There are other things to do. And those that want to join me in this journey, I welcome you all. Any other questions from my moderators? Anything else that I need to put to emphasize? Yes, no?
So there's a question in the chat.
Okay, what is it?
The link for the Financial Times kept giving me an error. Is there another link I can use to sign up?
Okay, so don't worry about it right now, because guess what? I'm not inclined. The only thing that they may want to do is reach out. If you go to the library or something, reach out to them and see if it works.
Dr. Rush, I actually figured it out already. You should be able to just Google the Financial Times and then click register, and then use your Miami Google account to register for an account.
Have you done that?
I just did it and it worked.
Okay. Do you want to put a note there, Anastasia, for maybe on the announcements?
I can publish an announcement
Yeah,
tonight.
put it in the announcement and let the other TAs know about that too, Lily, in order we can do it. Perfect. See how we help each other? Excellent. That's what I'm looking for. Guess what? Every time Livia, this is how I operate. You need to do the homework. If you get stuck, you need to document it. Because things a lot of times you remember least privilege? I don't have privilege a lot of times. What happens in Blackboard? I have my own, right? I don't have what the library has the link, or what Financial Times is. I don't have control over it. But if you've documented and then you research it and say, I've made these attempts, that's fine. But if you put your hands up and say, I give up, it didn't work for me, that's not acceptable in this class. But problems that's what we're going to be learning. Guess what, Livia? In the beginning of the semesters, how do we document problems? How do we collaborate with each other? How do we get remote access when we're in Zoom? You get stuck, I get stuck. I want somebody to say, you know what, Dr. Rush, can I take over your computer? Yeah, if you can help me. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to do polls. We want to look at reviews of polls. We want to see how can polls help us in business? How can they even help us in education? We'll look at it next week on what kind of reports are we getting from the polls. We're doing workarounds. Anything else, Livia, that I need to address?
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. So if we can do attendance, or do I have to do attendance?
I can do it.
Okay.
I'll start in a
You can
second.
do
I'll
it, the
share my screen.
attendance, and put in the code. And once everybody gets their attendance, you get the code. You're welcome to leave. I wish you the best. Hope those of you that wish to continue with me, I'll see you next week, next Wednesday. And next Wednesday, it's like what I say, I'm rolling up our sleeves and we're getting started. If you don't want to roll up your sleeves, this ain't the class for you. If you wanted this class to be, it's easy, it's, online, I can sleep a little, make a little lunch. This isn't the class. Okay? So stay with me. After you get this number in, you're welcome to go. And then you can put that, did you put that number in the chat?
Yes, I did.
Anastasia?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Put that number in the chat and then we can stop sharing. We got that 5756 in the chat, and stay with me and I'll be happy to talk to you and answer any of your questions. And remind me, Anastasia, when we ever talk to anybody, we shut down all recordings. Remember, least privilege, need to know, right? Nobody needs to know all
I missed the code.
issues. It's in the
Sorry,
chat.
Professor.
5756.
In the chat, right? We realize it each time. Perfect. And now the first time is basically getting together and figuring out what's happening with each person, right? And you get the feel, right, Sully, of what the class is going to be like. Some people like it, some people don't. It's all personal, right?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Ciao.
Bye.
Enjoy.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Wait, so sorry. Before you go, can I just ask really quickly, Michael? Because he reached out to me first.
Yeah.
The one that missed the poll, did it just not pop up on your screen at all?
I think it's because I had Zoom split open and then another tab
Oh,
split open
maybe.
for research, just ChatGPT, just in case I wanted to search something up, like she said. But I think it went behind my window screen, so it was just
Yeah, just figure it out.
Okay.
Not a big deal. We're not doing, you know what I mean? It's good that, Michael, does not count, does not go
yeah.
count.
I just want to make sure it was all good.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
want to make sure that it's not something,
Yeah.
You're good. Don't
it's
worry.
good that we good. Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Perfect. Okay. What's next?
Isabel?
I just had a quick question. So I know where to find the quizzes that are in Blackboard for the Willy adaptive, but for the assignment that's in the website itself, does that just occur when you're done with the chapter?
Yeah, go to quiz. You have, and let me just see here. Noam, do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering something about the homework, but she can go first.
Isabel,
Okay.
or are you asking where to
I
find
think the
actual
difference between
quiz?
quizzes versus widely adaptive. What's the
Yeah. So I know where to find the quizzes. I'm just confused with the adaptive assignment.
Okay, go under Wiley Plus now.
Okay.
See
Yeah.
Wiley Plus?
Yeah.
Now go to chapter 1.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
And now hit chapter 1, do you see the very last item there? What does it say?
Oh,
Under
chapter 1, info adaptive systems, 10E.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's gonna
Yeah, and the rest up above it is the reading.
Got
So
it.
if you
Yeah.
click the other ones, you can read the chapter. I don't care how you read the chapter, it's up to you, right?
Yeah,
But you need to do that last item.
got it. Thank you.
Perfect, 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 perfect. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Okay, and now you know what's
Hi,
up.
Professor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
I was wondering, I'm trying to do like the what to do, and
Yeah.
I signed up for the Wall Street Journal and the Economists, but the other one, I forgot the name, doesn't work. And the link that
Okay,
you
the
sent,
Financial Times, she
yeah,
said kind of go to
and the link that you use doesn't work as well. So I don't know if you'll be able to track if we signed up or not. Like I'm wondering if it will like lose
No,
credit for that.
I don't care if you sign, I'm not tracking if you signed up. You just
All
need
right,
to
cool.
get to it. So Financial Times is your issue?
Yeah, and I was wondering how I'm supposed to like meet with you, like the office hours, is that on Zoom? Is there any way we could do that in person as well?
I'm not on I broke my ankle in two
Oh, I'm
places.
sorry.
Me too. Me too. I'm
Okay,
hoping I
so you're
can
never
get
on
to the
campus?
exam. What?
You're
So
never on
now
campus?
I am not, but we can
Okay.
do it individually. We can do a Zoom, where
All right, sounds good.
just me and you are together and we're not recording. Did we stop all the recording, by the way? We need to stop.
No, we did not.
Yes, you
I
need to remind me, okay?
Yeah.
You need all the all
Mhm.
recordings. I think the only thing is YouTube you have to